All right, we're going to do this together. I know we're kind of limited on time. How's everyone doing today? Just enjoyed all the speakers, man. Give it up for those guys. Just phenomenal. We're soaking it up, taking up a lot of notes. I'm excited for October. I know that's going to be a slam dunk, so this is a great prelude for that. And Twanda doesn't know this, but Shaq mentioned, my brother. My plight into the business came as a result of my first brother played in the NFL, passed away, left his family a wreck financially. My second brother listened to me when I got into the business. He listened to the concepts and principles and things that we do, and he passed away a couple years ago. And as a result, we were able to set his family up. My niece that he was referring to plays professional soccer in Portugal. She just resigned again and we went back. We were there in March. And one of the things my brother had made a claim in the midst of his sickness. Every 30 days I was going to Chicago just to support him in his journey. But one of the things he said to me was, he said, I want to be able to do something significant for my sister, and he wanted her to have a house. Imagine being 64 years old and never owned your own house. And so when he passed away, that was one of the things that I did, was to invest in her to get a house. And I just got a notice she closed on her house today. So being children was kind of like saying, wow, just seeing things go full circle. So anyway, Shaq asked Twanda and I to really talk on partnership. Partnership is everything. Her parents, 64 years of marriage, that's a phenomenal partnership. And we get to see that every day. We get to see that unfolded. So we can jump right into some things. You can move this. Do I have the clicker? Okay. Alrighty. So partnership in Primerica is everything. I always say, I have the best partner in Twanda. Twanda is just phenomenal. She's the emotional, the excited, the eccentric, right, partner. And I'm kind of laid back, the cleric is kind of, observes. But let's chat about partnership. It's a simple definition of partnership, right? It's an arrangement between two or more people to oversee business operations and sharing its profits and liabilities, right? So let me just make it plain. You win and lose in Primerica, okay, if you are doing the right or wrong things in partnership, right? In other words, my loss is her loss is our loss. We share those things together. You just don't want to be the reason why you lose, right? You want to make sure that you do everything within your reason, okay, to make sure that you have a successful union. And it's God, it's family, and then it's our business, okay? So we seek Him first. We talk about our faith. We talk about our relationship with God. That is very, very important in anything and everything that we do. Okay, so there's different levels of partnership. Let's just kind of talk a little bit about them, because I can get up here and just vaguely talk about a lot of partnership notes and cliches and things like that. But there's a lot of different levels of partnership, coming into the business, and we know that people adopt to one of these. There's some partners who are passive. Okay, anybody know anybody who's passive? Just kind of like, that's your deal, right? Baby, you go do your thing, I'm gonna do mine, right? So then there's supportive partners, right? We have a lot of great supportive partners. Any supportive partners in the room right now? Okay, great. And then we have the active partner, okay? And what's interesting about this is it's usually a progression. You usually don't just get an active partner who jumps into the business. They are sometimes, they start out passively and then they come in. And I'm going to share a little bit of story. Twanda's going to share her story about where she was, because I think it was pretty humorous. So let's just kind of jump into a couple of these areas. Okay, passive partner. Okay. All right, these are just some things from just to know so you can identify it. And we know that partnership is not just in our primary business, it's not just husband and wife, okay? We have to be a spouse, right? Working together, but they can be sister, brother, right? Mom, dad, you know, there's a lot of different levels of partnership. But look at here, passive partner. Okay, I will at least come to big events. Okay, anybody know anybody like that? They just say, hey, I don't have much to do with the business. This is your thing, not mine. We do a little things different in this household, right? I'm not interested. I've met people, you know, in the business, been in the business 5, 10 years. They haven't gotten their spouse to progress. They're just like, I'm passive, okay? We have figured out how to make money multiple ways in this household. What does that mean? You go make your money, I'll go make mine, okay? That doesn't make it right or wrong. It just is the way it is, right? I love what Bruce says, right? That's just the way it is, right? Some things, that's just the way it is. But what you do have to be able to do is to identify exactly where that person is and to help them along the way. Most people who get into the business, particularly if they're married, a lot of times their spouse doesn't know that there's room for them, right? Right. So we have to help them, right? That's why it's important when people recruit married people. I always say, hey, you got to get to the spouse right away, right? That's got to be your first appointment. That's got to be your next connection because they need to know whether or not there's room for them to progress in this business. But if they're not going to be in the business and be active or be supportive or whatever, wouldn't it be at least important for them to know where they fit in or what roles that they can do to support? Okay. So let's move to the second one, supportive partner. You want to talk about this one? Okay. All right. How supportive partner? How can I support you? I'm going to move along pretty fast. I'll agree to get my license. Right. There's a lot of supportive partners. Right. Get names and numbers. Making phone calls. You know, supportive partner. Like Tawanda was a phenomenal supportive partner. There was a time where she worked for the United States Senate, and she would leave her office. 5 o'clock, drive to Bowie, make calls from 6 to 9 o'clock. That was a phenomenal supportive partner, right? So, very exciting. Create an open line of communication to get input, meaning she was selling the vision and having a communication to other people. You know what's interesting sometimes? If they don't know your role, it's you know, your teammates are like kids, right? They'll test you, say something negative about you to your spouse to see what type of response you're going to give. So if you're not a supportive partner that's in alignment, right? Sometimes, man, that can get messed up pretty bad, right? You know, so you want to know those things, and we can talk about those things, and then help sell, you know, lead reps' dreams and why you believe in the opportunity. Okay, so just active partnership is the last one. Each person is focusing on their strong qualities. We are both active partners, so come up here. We're actively together in partnership. Okay, we work together closely at home and the office. So we're like this all the time. You know, someone said to us one time, they said, "You do everything together?" Like that was like the negative, you know, Christian. You know what we said? Have you ever tried? Have you ever had the opportunity to try? And they looked at us indifferently like, no, they never have, right? He hits this way, she goes that way. So, you know, we work together. It allows us to spend time together, which helps solidify our relationship, right? We cleave together, right? We're one. We're working towards a common goal together, so we're very active partners. Now, with that being said, we had to do the Ben Franklin initially, because we're very strong-willed, right? She has a way of, man, I'm going to do it this way, or I'm going to do it this way. So we have to identify those roles so we don't clash with each other in terms of, you know, what's taking place, right? Because sometimes there could be some intense fellowship, right? You get that? But we always say, hey, build up in public, right? Construct in private. So we don't, like, in front of our team going back and forth, you know, and you know, you've seen that in Primerica, right? I can tell you some stories about that, but I'm not going to go into that. So I'll let Tawanda tell her little part here. Go ahead.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to Okay? I was also one of the ones that I did not get licensed right away. Not at all. Okay? And then the next one is I really wasn't as coachable. So really what you see today, I just want to give all my praise and honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He did a great makeover on me, Christian, and I'm just so happy with that, you know? So the reason why I wasn't coachable, again, number one, it didn't take anything away from Derek, because Derek I actually came into the business, ladies and gentlemen, not as Mrs. Parker. I came in as a client to Wanda Sullivan. So when I came in as a client, I really thought that by me working at the Senate, I was good. I didn't need this. You go ahead and do you. But how many know if you have that relationship, and so the Lord said, but didn't you say that you need some help? You got to remove that pride out of your way, Wanda. You said that you are, investing in terms of your job, but do you really know what you have? No, not really. Now, I said I was tired of living from paycheck to paycheck, so I think you need some help, girl, okay? So after what the really big turnaround was attending a big event. And that was the ALC. So I was like, man, if that young lady can do it, I know that I can do it. And then again, just really having that private conversation, with yourself, whoever you decide to worship and talk to. And that's what was said to me. You know that you need to help. You know that you don't like where you were at. And I send someone in your direction. So you have a choice, girlfriend. You can either say yes, you can either say no, or you can either stay at the Senate. So obviously y'all know my story, because when I left the Senate, it was 2012. I don't look behind, I look forward, okay? And then just actually witnessing people getting laid off. Because when you work at the Senate, two things can take place. If you're working for a senator, he or she could literally pass away, right? Because we all know that that's going to take place. So when that happens, what happens? They bring in their new staff, right? Or that person can lose the election. Again, they can bring in their own staff, all right? And so one of the big things that really helped me in the business, as you saw, Lynette did a phenomenal job in all the speakers. But Lynette had what you have on the screen is called a script. Raise your hand. You heard the script, right? So what I did was, the script that I had, Lynette, I took it and put it, Christian, on the computer with a tape. So when Derek talked about intense fellowship, he gave me the script. So go back on first post. I'm thinking like, oh, what you giving me the script for? I know how to talk to people. I'm around dignitaries. So when he heard me, he came into the office, Christian, and said, what are you doing? Well, I kind of felt a spirit that was coming over me, and it wasn't real. So I said, I think what I'm going to do, because I know the brother can't fire me, right? And I said, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and just leave a little bit early. And let me just take a self-examination of myself. So really, all of these points afterwards, I really have to give this young man really great props. Because really, Derek was my trainer. I thank God for him. I got an opportunity, again, to learn the business and just really know the things that I need to do. Now, we know that he is the head coach, but when you make yourself present, when you have the confidence level, the team says, Coach DP, can I ask a question? Coach DP, can I ask a question? There's no dividing. If there's something that a teammate comes and asks me, and if I'm not really sure, who am I going to go to? It's not Ghostbusters. I'm going to go into my wonderful puzzle. Because we're in partnership together. You may bump heads, but at the end of the day, we're going down the right path together. So why should partnership matter? One, we are in partnership with our team. Because without our team, we wouldn't even be here. And see, Kristen, I'm not even going to say the number, but I love what you just said. This was early when we came in. He had said, does anybody else have some acknowledgement? I said, yeah, we need to stand. No, let's stay humble. Let's put it this way. I'm smiling, the brother's delivering, and I love my allowances and things that he's giving me. So let's move on, okay? And also talking about building a family business. I thank God my dad is going to turn 91 on Halloween. And I just give God to give all the praise and the honor because when we work the business, they're so cute. before landing, as my pastor said, I put the dishes into the dishwasher, okay? So the thing is, my parents don't take what we do for granted. See, when you're in front, when you know the things that you need to do, my parents, like my mom would tell my dad, she calls me something, Sonny, come call him. You know it's Thursday night, you know what Tawanda and Son is doing. Man, I just love them. So you have all these things up here. I want to be obedient because the clock says 0. I want to leave you all with this. If you can laugh together, you can work together. This man keeps me laughing. He brings so much joy. I love our partnership. And the thing is, in your partnership, identify your goals, man. Your goals are going to change. Like DP said, I started out making phone calls. Now I just wear multiple hats. I do the things that need to be done because I want to win. I did not leave the Senate just to sit there and to look out the window. I left it because I know I want to get involved. I encourage you, go ahead and get your license because when crunch time comes, when he's on something, he's like, hey, TV, can you take care of this? I can take care of it. If a teammate calls, we can sit on the computer, we can do the Zoom, we can do the things that we need to do. So